100 nights, no rest, no break. Dreams on my mind, but my hands still ache. Bands in the safe, cash on the low. Build it from the ground, watch the empire grow. Empty fridge, now the table stacked. Used to pray for change, now I'm counting racks. The grind don't stop, no pause, no wait. Bands in the safe.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, how's it going? Happy bank holiday weekend. Let's go have a look at the update I've now got ready for Delta Breaks. And I'm going to show you all the new little bits that I've added, some of the bits I've cleaned up, and the new menu as well, because I've given you guys a whole shiny new menu. And let's get stuck on in. So, first thing you'll notice that we've got 3 dashboards all down the right side here. The top one is the indicator as it currently has existed this past week, the actual version. In the middle here, you've got the new update, hence the word new in the dashboard title there. And at the very bottom, you've got 24/7 versus. And this is something I'll show you, well, as we go through this video. There's more you can do to this with this system and this strategy outside of just prop firms. Now, it's set up for prop firm use, absolutely. But you can use it in a personal cash account, and that's what this dashboard is going to show you as we do a little bit of a back test over this past week. I won't go any further than this past week because we'd be here forever, just going day after day after day. But you'll see that this system can exist outside of just prop firms. You can use it on a personal account. You can do a little bit more in a personal account as well. But let's get stuck into the changes and the update itself, because that's what this video is for. And this update is prepping for what I'm going to be working on this coming week, which is the automation side of it. First phase is going to be automating the trading view indicator. And I'm pretty sure it's ready to do that. And I'm going to be working on that tomorrow during the bank holiday Monday. And after that, I will be working on making a clone of it for NinjaTrader directly. But I'll go more into that later on in the video, because I'm very, very excited and confident about that as well. So I'm going to quickly show you the menu itself. And it won't take too long on this because it's all pretty straightforward. I've added a couple little details and taken a whole bunch of other stuff out. The stuff I've taken out isn't stuff you ever really want to change anyway, so why have it in the menu? I've decided just to take it out. The first thing I added, absolute max contracts. This is for prop firms that have scaling rules. So if you can only trade up to 30 contracts for the first couple of thousand of profit, then you can go to 40, then you can go to 50. This can help limit that upside. So it's a scaling rule max cap. If you keep it at 0 like this, it's turned off by default. The option underneath it is the block opposing trades. This is, again, for prop firms. A lot of them don't like you using hedging strategies where you have a buy and a sell open at the same time, and it can breach accounts. So if you're using a prop firm, keep this toggled on. It's toggled on by default. Something I'll quickly mention, the reason I added the cash account 24/7 where it's not in prop firms, I have this turned off in this account, and it does well. It can sometimes get into opposing trades and does its own thing. From there, it's mostly the same stuff, except a lot of bits have been removed because you don't really want to be changing them anyway. A lot of all the visual stuff is what's remaining. And you can see here in the middle, you don't need to have this set as big as I do. I'm doing it this big just for YouTube's sake so you guys can see it clearer. You can, however, change what it says in the header. So here where it says Terra Delta Breaks new, and this one says Terra Delta Breaks 24/7, that's here. That's written here. So you can type in whatever you want. The reason I've done that, if you're like me, I'm doing right now, running multiple versions of the indicator, you might set up one tailored specifically to one prop firm because of its rules. Like, let's say Traderify. You have one indicator at the top running Traderify. So you could put Traderify in the top header so you know what your Traderify accounts did. You could have one that is Alpha Futures. You could have another one that's running just Apex because they have different rule sets. So you can change the size of the risk. You might have a couple of different sized accounts. You might have a bunch of 50Ks. You might have a couple 150Ks as well. You might, like me, run it on different settings, whether you're on a eval account or a funded account. The way I do it, I run the default settings on evaluation accounts. And then once funded, I actually run a different indicator, same settings, except smaller risk. I tone it down by about 1/3, and I run it on slightly less risk. And the way I kind of, compensate for that is that the plan for me is to keep my funded accounts safer and have loads of them and link them all together via a copy trader. And that's what I do between them. One other detail I've added for the dashboard. Here you've got dashboard vertical offset rows. What that is these rows, you can move them up and down vertically. So if you do a positive number, go up, let's go up 2, it will move, that's this dashboard in the middle, it will move it up 2 rows. If you go negative, it will move it down a couple of rows. And it's just so you can do like this, you can stack them vertically, and it's just a way of making sure they don't overlap each other. And in a second, you'll see this one just kind of shift, there we go, shifts up. And it's just a useful little quality of life thing so you don't have things overlapping here. Another change I've made is that I've reduced the normal max range ever so slightly. On FOMC night, when there were some big moves in the after hours, the candle range stayed normal when it clearly wasn't normal, so I had this set a little bit too high. All it does is change this color of this row to make it's like a little visual cue saying, hey, by the way, there's a lot of volatility right now, just so you know. It doesn't change anything about the strategy or what's actually going on, but it's there, it's done, it's a useful little thing to have. Everything down here is just default settings. You can change the color to your, like I have default yellow for the buy and sell confirmation entry lines. You can change them. The buys are on this side and the sells are on this side. So you can have like here I've done green and pink. It will change the yellow lines to green and pink for you if you don't want to have the yellow. Below that is the trading window, which for this video series, we default it to just the default settings. You don't need to do that. You can trade for just the morning if you want, 9:30 to say 12:30, and then have it turn off for the rest of the day. If that's how you want to do it. If that works better for you, great, change it there. Something I'll mention, this toggle here. I definitely recommend the more premium versions of TradingView because it allows you to access the 1 second, 15 second, 30 second, the sub 1 minute seconds charts. The indicator uses them. So you will get much more accurate, better TradingView displayed information if you have the more premium versions of TradingView. If you don't, it's not the end of the world. You just need to toggle that off. If you can't access the sub 1 minute timeframes, you need to turn that off, and the indicator will use the 1 minute chart. Is what it will default back to. But you definitely get better results, so I do recommend upgrading to those good versions of TradingView. A little expensive, but you know everyone uses TradingView. It's the go-to charting platform, and we're using it, so it's worth the investment in my opinion. Below that is what I'm going to be focusing on this coming week. So I'm not going to go into this too much right now. This is the alerts for the webhooks for the automation side of it. So we will start the automation phase of all this grand adventure we're on by automating the TradingView indicator, this one. And this batch of settings is what I'm going to be focusing on this coming week. And I'll go into more details about what's going on here a little later. The news avoidance is part of this automation plan, plus it's just a good idea to have this in the indicator anyway. This will avoid major news events. So for example, on Wednesday even, we had FOMC. So this pulls the information from Forex Factory, and if it sees that as an FOMC event, you can set whether you trade through it, whether you avoid the entire day, or like what the default settings are for it, you can avoid the minutes. All of these are set to avoid minutes, and these ones down here, we'll just trade through them. These here, 15 minutes before and after the event, it will stop trading and close any open trades. So it just avoids that whole range. If you're on a prop firm that doesn't want you, I think either Take Profit Trader or one of those. Some people don't like you trading a couple minutes before and after major news events. You can set that to avoid the minutes. Put this to whatever it is before and after. Add a little headroom. If it's 5 minutes, make it 10 minutes or something like that, and it will just close all trades and not trade during that window. Also down here with the same idea, don't trade bank holidays is on by default. You don't want to trade bank holidays. This is a volume-backed breakout strategy. You want volume in the market. You don't want to trade a low volume day. So don't trade bank holidays. Keep that on. And if for whatever reason you know that you don't want to trade on Friday, you can toggle each individual day for the coming week off ahead of time. So if I toggle on don't trade Friday because we're at the weekend, it still is showing Friday data right now, what you're going to see is what will change in the dashboard. Because when these are toggled on, when a bank holiday is on, or when you've got the news state on, it will change the day win rate row in the dashboard. So it comes up orange, and it shows you that you... Oh, my phone's going nuts. It will show you that, like here, don't trade Friday, no trade day. On Monday, tomorrow, it's a bank holiday. So it's going to do the same thing, but it's going to say bank holiday there. And if you're on like the avoid thing, it will say no trade day, in brackets, news. So that's just kind of like a nice little thing. So the dashboard will tell you what it's doing, or in this case, what it's not doing. And that's it for the update. Everything else is a few minor changes, like the trailing stop loss accuracy has been improved. And it uses the 1 second chart now. And that's working really, really well. I'm very happy with that. There was one thing I was going to be doing on Friday, which I'm now not going to do. So I'm going to mention this now. On Friday, the video showed that it made $3,500 profit. Well, actually, I'm not pushing that update out now. That update had a feature called dynamic stop loss built into it, which would move the stop loss slightly if there was a nearby structure point. So it would go to the nearest high wick or low wick or something like that if there was one close by. And in my head, that was a really good idea. And all of last week, that idea was excellent. It made a massive profitable difference to the upside. However, I've went back and reviewed the data, and it was a little bit misleading because, yes, there are occasions where it will save a trade and it will make the numbers look better. But actually, over the long run, it hurts the edge and actually performed slightly worse. Throughout all of April, that feature, there are a couple of days where it would lose like $2,000 more, because if you're in a liquidity day where it's just running stop levels, that extra range would just mean the losses were slightly bigger. And on occasion, there were still more of them. And actually, it just turned out the edge wasn't there for it. So the data doesn't support it. We're not going to be doing it. So we're sticking to the standard stuff. And it means we'll take the odd L here and there, like here on Friday. There was a little loss just there below that wick. And it sucked to see it, but we still made profit that day. So, you just let the edge play out. This is this indicator and this strategy is so active. It places multiple trades a day. I think throughout April, there was something like 150 trades placed, and the edge is very clearly there. Don't fret over 1 or 2 losses. Don't fret over a red day. The strategy has proven itself to be a very real edge in this market. Just let it do its thing. So we're no longer doing the dynamic stop loss update. It's been scrapped, basically. Which is good, honestly, because the automation side of it gets a little bit easier doing it that way. And that's it for the update. So what we'll do now, just to kind of show how things went on this past week. We won't do any further back than the week because it will be here forever. But you can see here are the details on Friday. So we took slightly less profit on Friday, which is fine. And on the cash account, because it took more trades, it actually made a bit more, which is nice. And that's usually how it goes. Not always. Sometimes it makes a little bit less. But most of the time, it actually makes more on the 24-hour automated personal account. So I'm very keen to get one of those set up this summer as well. But that's what the Ninja Trader update is going to be for. So we're just going to go back over the days this coming week, and I'm going to show you these updates working in real time. So here on Thursday was the big red day of the week. We took $2,000 loss. On the new version, it's actually slightly less because the trailing stop loss is a bit more accurate now. And it also saved on one of the losing trades and was slightly different. But you can see here the overnight personal account was even slightly less of a loss as well, despite having a worse win rate. So very choppy day. On Wednesday was when actual FOMC happened, and you'll see the new candle extreme warning in the dashboard. You'll see that on the new one here when it loads up in a second. And like I said, this is it, because we actually took 2 big losses for FOMC, yet it still was a profitable day. So you can see here the extreme comes on a bit sooner because this is not this is very extreme candle movements, and it wasn't coming up. So I was like, okay, that's set too high. But look at the difference. So just by avoiding the FOMC news, it was actually could have been a $4,000 day, and the overnight account made $5,000 in a day, which is phenomenal. And it actually had a really good win rate that day too. So yeah, that's what Wednesday was like, and I don't think there's actually any change on Tuesday and Monday. Let's go have a look between the old version and the new version. The cash account was slightly different, I think. But yeah, this is just an example of the new version versus the old. So yeah, $45, basically a break-even day on Tuesday. Yeah, break-even, and made slightly more on the overnight. But you can see, even with the 24/7, it's technically not 24/7, is it? It's 23/5 technically. Didn't make much more, really. It's just, sometimes you get those days where, a big player is just putting the market where he wants it. And it usually happens before major economic news events. This is why we don't want to trade things like FOMC and CPI. And a few others as well. But the indicator takes care of that now for you. And on Monday, I think was the same as well, same result. Yeah, slightly negative day. But you can see the overnight fully recovered. And it actually had a really good day when doing the overnight thing. So again, just the quantity of trades stacks up in our favor. The edge is real. The edge is there. So we'll stop there. We won't go back any further. I did go back over all of April, and the new version did perform better than the old version. Only by much, but I think it's like $1,500, $1,200, something like that, and 0.5% of win rate was increased. So overall, just slightly. It's not completely revolutionized it. It's just a bit more of a quality assurance update, plus a few new features that are going to prep us for the automation phase, which we're going into next. So overall, I'm very happy with the update. I'm pretty sure I've got all the bugs figured out. Yeah, he says. Famous last words, right? But I've been testing it pretty non-stop all week, basically. It's just been all I've been doing. And I'm very happy with it. And I'm very excited to see the next phase kind of come to life with this automation side of it. I am confident that TradingView's alert system will be quick enough to place these trades, because I do have another. Tell you what, let me go get it for you. There we go. This orb system down here is an older orb version that I haven't really done much with for a little while. But this system, as simple as it was, it did this automated trading thing for me. It would send a webhook out to a third-party website that would connect to my broker and place the trade for me. And the 15-minute, as much as I love the 15-minute, when it comes to automating it in an indicator, it's kind of tricky, because sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And there are better orbs. I'm actually working on a really cool orb system, but that's a conversation for another day. But yeah, this whole automating a TradingView indicator, I know it works because I did it. I did it for months. I traded this system on some prop firm eval accounts and just kind of left them to do their thing. And it worked really well. So I know the whole automation of an indicator can work, and work in your favor too. The question is going to be, is TradingView the limitation we're going to have with the TradingView automation, this first phase? This is why I'm going to be building the NinjaTrader Direct version. The alerts that send the information to this third-party website, they're not done on your machine. They're done on TradingView's servers. So the way you do it, I'll show you briefly. You add an alert to your chart and you assign whatever indicator you want to it. This gets set up with like a snapshot of your indicator's code on TradingView's on their servers. And sometimes there's a little bit of a lag between when they actually send that alert out. And there's nothing that can be done about that. And it can be up to a minute at times. I've never seen it be that long, but I've seen it be a good 5 or 6 seconds. And I've watched a trade that when like one of these sort of moves where price just goes straight up, and it was a market exit requiring the indicator to send an alert. I lost double the amount because the alert was a little bit delayed being sent. But with this strategy, the trades don't enter right away. In fact, let me Can I show you? Let me see if I can find one that we can go and have a look at. Here we go. There's one. I'll show you what I mean. Now, sometimes it's quick. Sometimes it comes back right away, like here. Let me zoom in a little bit more for you. This sell, the trade is confirmed here. Price has to pull all the way back before it's entered. And there is a time. This is a 1 minute candle, so there is time for it to do it. So, you know, a couple seconds delay isn't really going to be the end of the world. Plus, it looks human and it's humanized, which we want. So this trade here took 2 minutes to come back to the entry line. So it's not a case where you've only got a couple of seconds and you have to be go, 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 go. Yes, there might be occasions where the trade would be entered immediately and you might miss one or two with the trading view automation side of this phase 1 automation. It might happen. It's just going to be part of it. And if that happens, it happens. There will be, this is why I'm going directly to NinjaTrader. No delay at all. In fact, I'm going to have to add a bit of a delay as a humanizing thing, which is like 1 or 2 seconds, just to make it look a little bit real. But overall, I'm not too concerned, to be honest with you. I think it's going to work out in our favor. And yeah, we'll just see how it goes this coming week, really, won't we? But that's it for today, folks. That's the update. That's the new versions coming. There is one more thing I want to mention, which is this. Because I'm no longer doing the dynamic stop loss feature, Friday's results are not actually what they were in the video now, which sucks because Friday's results looked really good because of that update. But, you know, I care about transparency. Friday was a $1,500 profit, not $3,500, which sucks, but I care about the honesty and all that sort of stuff. I'm not trying to hide anything here. This is what Friday actually did, which is still a great result for the day. You know, $1,500 on a day on one account, great. You know, if you're running 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 accounts, that's going to look real good then, isn't it? So a profitable day is a good day. And I'm very confident with this edge and this system, like I've said so many times. But hey ho, that's it, folks. That's it for today. That's the update. You should have that either tonight. It will be out before tomorrow. Tomorrow will automatically not trade because the new default is to not trade bank holidays. Do update the indicator. You'll see a little round disc next to the indicator name. Click it. It will say to update. Or just close it off and reload it back onto your chart. And yeah, I think that's everything for today, folks. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying yourselves and enjoying the long weekend. I will see you guys this coming week when we do the automation stuff. Thanks a lot. Take care.
Yeah, I was home like a battle cry. Circuit spark on the neon sky.